Joining me today is Dr. Bob Weil, known as Dr. Bob, who is a respected sports podiatrist and radio host of The Sports Doctor. Dr. Bob is back on the show for the Sports Doctor is in segment on Run With That. And always a pleasure to have you back, Dr. Bob. How are you?
Oh, very good, Christine. I wanted to wish you a belated happy birthday. And it's always fun to do our segment, adding to the education you provide on your Go Run With It. So we're glad to be here.
Yes, and I also want to do a quick shout out to Hurdle socks. I haven't tried them yet, but I can't wait. But it's just, I love socks, and I know we did a segment not long ago. So thank you to you too, Dr. Bob, for referring me.
Yes, they're one of the supporters of the Sports Doctor radio show. And one of their co-founders, Tosh Hayes, is somebody who was very involved in the fabric world, in the MIT studies of fabrics and support and things that go into strategic areas of socks. So it's absolutely something that's important and has been downplayed over the years with all the attention to shoes. So we wanted to bring that back, and we've got a key article coming out in Lower Extremity Review in the next issue or two called Socks Matter. I named it after the other founder, Taylor Matter.
That's wonderful. No, and I actually just got a pair of new running shoes provided by Rockets and Runners. So these socks
Hey, you're ready to rock and roll.
That's right, Dr. Bob. But I want to talk about now that the weather is better, it's warmer, and, thinking about family fitness, and we can talk about that. Like, now's the time, right, to get out there and include the family in your workouts.
It's always a good time. But, the concept of having families coming up with activities that they can do together, walking is a great example, going to the gym, great example. The idea being that we want to involve family members as young as possible, as often as possible. And it's up to mom and dad to set an example and include their children when at all possible. Again, we have a tremendous challenge with childhood obesity, with adult obesity, and the idea of being able to make sure that, number one, schools are paying big attention, including gym class, having activities, youth sports, taking a big part, but also families. And the fact that they can get involved. And again, I'll use walking as a great example. That could be done together, and it could be done consistently. And as the weather, again, we get into summer, we really want to be paying attention to the importance of health, wellness, and fitness.
Oh, that's wonderful. So there's really no particular time to start. It's never too late to start. It doesn't matter when we start, but it just seems, with the warmer temperatures, it just gives that feeling of motivation, inspiration. So you can go and go to the pool, you can do a hike, you can go to the playground, you can do all those activities, but include, and it's also, so what are the benefits to including your child or your children?
Well, we just mentioned one of the biggest ones, which is weight control. It's
Yes.
interesting. When I've had experts on the show, Christine, talking about bullying, for example, the number one area is weight related, is obesity related in the world of bullying. Disabilities is involved, but also, again, so the benefits, whether it is controlling weight, whether it is the scourge of diabetes, starting much, much earlier than we saw in the past decades, where we have adolescents, again, because of the fact of habits. We mentioned before we started, the social media world, where these kids are looking at the phones all day, every day. It's a tremendous challenge. So when parents can include the family, again, whether it's involving them in taking part in the gym, whether it's whatever the activity is, it can be something that they can be included, throwing the ball around, explaining to your children the importance of activity. One of my favorite guests, Teresa Power, she's the founder of Kids Yoga Day. must be 50 countries that take part in early April, International Kids Yoga Day. And she's looking at not only the physical benefit for these kids, but also the mental benefits of being able to understand, kids learn better and they are healthier. Their attitudes improve when you include activities. And another one of my favorite guests, Suzanne Gray, who's involved with a organization involving getting these kids off social media and getting them to pay attention to health and fitness a little bit at a time. It's a big, the three words on the sports doctor, which we always include: awareness, education, action. And here we're talking about the
Yes.
awareness that there is big challenges for families and children in so many health related areas. We want to include the educational side, which is why, I don't know, is it 3 or 4 years we have our monthly segment on Run With It
Yes.
with the
Yeah,
famous
that's
Christine Blanchet? Absolutely. And then action, whether it's school systems, whether it's families who are paying attention to making some changes. And again, it's up to you. What activities do you really enjoy as far as mom and dad are concerned? And again, it might be running and jogging, might be walking, might be going to the gym, might be a home program. Just yesterday, I had a physical therapist on from the Chicagoland area and talking about how involved the fitness, the physical therapy world is with the community. Same
Mhm.
goals. How do we change these situations where we're not running into, again, high blood pressure concerns and cardiovascular concerns when we're talking about the benefits? And again, big mental benefits for all of us when activity is included. You know that. How long have you been a runner?
Since, 1998, but officially had a coach starting in 1999. But I've seen, and I also wanted to add here is that when you're active, you are a role model. So when you participate in activities or you're a runner or a walker, whatever, then you are inspiring your child or children to take up activity. And that I feel that is very important.
I agree. And it doesn't have to be an organized sport. You know, if mom and dad played sports in high school and college, whatever the sport
Mhm.
was. But the fact, usually, again, if the parents are active, then the young children have these role models and are paying attention that, my kids would say to me, the number one, dad, as long as I'm alive, you've been on the radio.
That's
Or they would say to me, I would be taking them to the gym years ago when they were little to expose them to what was going on, the importance of fitness and wellness, the fun that was involved. And again, when the kids see that mom and dad are involved, even grandma and grandpa are involved, then it becomes a very easy move for them to enjoy and get involved in whatever the fitness activity happens to be. And again, it doesn't have to be organized youth sports. It could be very, very family oriented. And it is something, again, that I think your point is very, very well taken. And again, we want to be making sure that these children grow up and that they enjoy the idea of fitness and wellness. And it makes a gigantic difference in every area of a family's life, Christine.
Mhm. Dr. Bob, always a pleasure having you on the show and looking forward to having you back next month. And for
Yes, I'll
people
show
who,
you again.
yeah,
Hashtag Hey Sports Parents.
yes,
Gosh, it's the
yes.
5th year already. It's no less important. And if people want to find out about myself, the radio show, they can go to bbsradio.com/the sports doctor, because we're finally, after all these years, updating sportsdoctorradio.com, the website. They got me to do it. So hopefully the next time we're on the show, I'll have that to announce. And again, enjoy that birthday, Christine.
Thank you so much, Dr. Bob.
Great, everybody. See you next time.
Thanks.